About to meet for the first of two times this season. Last year, the Knicks swept the two-game set. Knicks winning at Madison Square Garden last December, and they won here in Seattle in March. And we're set for the introduction of the starting lineups. Let's join with the public address.
Guard number 3, John Starks. Starting at center, number 33, Patrick Ewing. Starting at forward, number 9, Tony Campbell. And at forward, number 34, Charles Oakley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your Seattle Supersonics, with head coach George Karl, assistant coaches Bob Kloppenberg and Tim Gergerich, and the trainer is Frank Furtado. And the starting lineup for the Sonics tonight, starting at guard, number 20, Gary Payton. Starting at guard, number 10, Nate McMillan. Starting at center, number 44, Michael Cage. And forward, number 31, Derek McKee. And starting at forward, number 40, Sean Kemp. The officials for tonight's game is assigned by the NBA are number 42, Hugh Hollins, number 57, Greg Willard, and number 61, Mark Wunderlich. Tonight's Coca-Cola Ball Kid is Joshua Fincher of Kent. To become an honorary Sonics Ball Kid, enter the Coca-Cola Ball Kid contest at any Pietros Pizza location.
So it is Michael Cage at center for the injured Benoit Benjamin. Benjamin sitting out with a sore left knee. And earlier, John talked with Seattle Supersonic coach George Karl and asked how will they contend with Patrick Ewing without their usual starting center, Benoit Benjamin.
Well, I think anytime you play Patrick Ewing, you got to have different looks, and we have probably 3 thoughts right now on how we're going to play him, and it's a combination of bumping him, grinding with him, fronting him some, double teaming him some, yo-yoing him some. I mean, there's all types of different looks that we have, and I don't think one way is going to be the way. I think you got to kind of show Patrick a different way every once in a while, and depending on who's covering him. I think Sean's going to cover him differently than Michael Cage will cover him, and even if we have to go into Steve Scheffler or Derek McKee, those guys, then we're really going to have to do some really cute stuff to be successful.
Although, John, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for a club to have a, as they say, a 9-man rotation. You look at the Knicks squad, and I think one of the problems that Pat Riley is facing is that he's not sure, and he's trying to determine who the 8 or 9 guys are that he wants to play, because he's usually much more comfortable by going with 8 people.
Yes, the word has been since the trades and the changes were made in the Knicks roster, it will take time. And that's what Pat Riley is facing now.
There are the officials, Hugh Hollins, Greg Willard, and Mark Wunderlich. As we get set for the opening tip, it will be Kemp against Ewing. Sean Kemp a little over anxious to step in. And we get a whistle. Someone jumped in too quickly, says Hugh Hollins. And it will be Seattle ball. It was Ewing stepping in. So Nate McMillan will throw it in. Yet another new look for the Seattle Supersonics starting lineup because of all the injuries that this club has suffered. Michael Cage with it. Here's Derek McKee being guarded by Tony Campbell. And a foul is called on Campbell. We are just underway in Seattle. Last night in Phoenix, the Sonics lost to the Suns 117-108. Charles Barkley had a good one, 28 points and 12 rebounds. Seattle began the season in Japan, you'll recall, winning both meetings with Houston. Beautiful move by Cage, but he blew the layup.
Boy, no one's seen that in east of the Mississippi. That was quite a move. I thought that was Kemp for a minute, the way he was moving.
Starks, played by McMillan, getting the pick from Oakley. Try to go the lane, and it is knocked out of bounds. The officials checking with each other. And it's ruled last touch by Starks that he kicked it out. Seattle did not have a piece of it. Here's Kemp. And Oakley with the rebound. Rivers had to come back for it. Rivers and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, Campbell up front.
Clear right away. Ewing getting double and triple teaming.
So Patrick Ewing able to put the Knicks on top by the score of 2-0. Patrick Ewing last night was the offense. Season high 28 points. Hit 12 of 20 from the field. Oakley off the steal.
Oh, that double teaming by Ewing forced that turnover. Beautifully done by the Knicks defense.
Campbell with the open shot. Knicks 4, Seattle nothing. Remember last night in Portland, Knicks got off quickly, hit their first 4, 5 out of 6. And then Portland was able to regroup and turn things around. And a foul is called as Kemp put the move on the baseline against Oakley.
Kemp takes up a lot of space. Classic pivot moving down low and getting the ball, setting himself up to get the basketball. He gave Ewing a tough time. He's 6'10" tall and full of speed.
Oakley called for the foul. Sean Kemp last season missed 18 games because of injuries, sprained left foot, had a hand problem. He was the youngest player in the NBA when he joined the Sox back in 1989. Misses on both free throws.
He's in tonight, shooting them at an 80% clip.
Rivers played by Payton. Ewing with the fake on Cage and had it knocked away. Fast break for Seattle. McKee has a 4-on-2. Finds McMillan. It's the Knicks 4 and the Sonics 2. Campbell. And Kemp, he hopefully fell down.
Charles and the floor have that special relationship. Charles goes down a lot.
But that time lost the handle. Kemp throwing head fakes and then pushing to Cage. Michael Cage missing a couple of lay-ins. One off that gorgeous spin earlier. And Doc Rivers converts. The Knicks lead 6-2.
Good patience by Starks, giving the ball up, not forcing that last possible opportunity for him.
Derek McKee, 6-year man from Alabama, putting the move on Tony Campbell. And it's rebounded by Oakley.
Look how alive the Knicks are on their defensive boards.
Something we did not see last night. In fact, they were crushed off the boards at both ends. And a climbing foul, loose ball foul called by Hollins. It's on Ewing.
Early in this game, it appears the Knicks have made mental adjustments. The mental part comes first because they look alive physically.
Gary Payton in his third year from Oregon State, playing the backcourt with Nate McMillan. Good look by Payton. And it will be Nick Ball. Again, Cage not able to hit.
That's fine with the Knicks to have Cage taking those long jump shots from the side. The Knicks off to a very good start. 60% from the field here in the opening moments.
Looks to be close to a capacity crowd here in Seattle, which is 14,000 for this building. Oakley throwing an air ball. And a loose ball foul called on Ewing. Second foul on Ewing.
Patrick somewhat mystified by that call when the whistle was blown. Not a good sign for the Knicks.
Pat Riley unhappy with the call is inserting Charles Smith. So early departure for Patrick Ewing.
The game not 4 minutes old, and Ewing was looking very into it. However, might not be bad in a sense, Marv, that the Sonics don't have a huge tree in the middle, and this will give Charles Smith a lot of chance to work. He needs work.
McMillan able to penetrate. The Knicks 6 and the Sonics 4. And Pat Riley upset. He thought Rivers was tripped by Payton and did not get the call.
Certainly looked like he was bumped, which forced him to lose balance on the ball.
McMillan with a good head fake. McKee shaking off a three. And last touch by, let's see, last touch by the Knicks. So Seattle will have 14 on the shot clock.
Charles Smith better be ready to work. The Knicks need his best efforts now.
Charles Smith, for the most part, has not been able to get into it. Very difficult. He's been in and out of the lineup, and then earlier in the season, first couple of games, he was in foul trouble. Payton ties the game at 6.
Payton, known for his defense, wrestles that ball away from Doc Rivers.
It counts and the foul. Very exciting series for Gary Payton.
Payton, a very physical player. What excited people about him coming into the NBA was his defensive skills. Hey, how about that left hand off the backboard and the foul, which follows a jump shot he made from 20 feet.
And a flagrant foul on Rivers. So Payton to the line. And then Seattle will take possession.
Boy, that was a tough one to see, Marv. We're sitting at half court. Very difficult to see the degree with which that foul was committed. Didn't look like a flagrant from here, but the official, of course, is right under the basket, has a better look at it.
Doc Rivers did not like the call. Three-point play for Gary Payton. The Sonics on a run. They now lead 9-6. Kemp for Cage. And Seattle with an 11-6 advantage.
One demonstration why the fans love Sean Kemp. That pass.
McMillan finding Payton. Well, Seattle on a 13-2 roll. 5 minutes gone by. And a timeout called by the Knicks.
Like last night in Portland, the Knicks started fast, although Patrick Ewing's gone out with 2 early fouls, but things have been rough for Doc Rivers. Coming up court a moment ago, he thought he was pushed, lost his balance, went out of bounds, but the officials gave that ball to Seattle in a turnover. He was mystified. Then on an inbounds play, he was massaged by Gary Payton, came in, and this is a flagrant foul in Hugh Hollins's opinion. So the Sonics are rolling.
A turnover by Rivers. Seattle has hit their last 5 straight shots. A 13-2 run to lead 13-6. Here's McKee for 3. Rebounded by Starks. The Knicks with Starks and Rivers in the backcourt. Campbell, Smith, and Oakley up front. Ewing sitting down early after picking up 2 personal fouls. Smith played by Kemp. Here's Charles Smith, and it's McMillan off the board.
Too much hesitation by Charles, which means his teammates became flat-footed, which means no rebounding chance.
And a 3-second violation called on Seattle. The Seattle Supersonics last year came on strong. Record of 47-35 after the bad start. They finished 4th in the Pacific Division. George Karl took over in January for K.C. Jones. In the playoffs, Seattle knocked off Golden State, a big surprise. They knocked off the Warriors 3-1, and then they lost to Utah in 5. And off to the good start this season. Record of 4-1. Shot clock at 5 for the Knicks. And Rivers has to pump and hits. Doc Rivers with the shot clock running down brings the Knicks within 5.
It takes a very strong stomach to overcome the mistakes you make. Rivers had a couple of bad ones, but he comes right back now, unaffected by that.
Anthony Mason getting set to check in. Illegal defense called against the Knicks for the first time.
Same as last night. Charles Oakley on the double teaming out top beyond the circle, floats in the middle, looking to clog it up, and that is illegal. You've got to stay with your man. If you're going to double team, you better get right to the other man you're double teaming. You can't float.
Anthony Mason replacing Tony Campbell. McMillan setting it up. Now Kemp backing Smith. Off the head fake. Sonics 15. The Knicks 8.
Quickness of Kemp made that move.
That's his first field goal. And a foul is called. It's on Kemp, a hold as he tried to get better position on Smith.
Marv, the pattern has been set by the officials early in this game. They are going to be all over the both teams with calls.
Just under 5 minutes remaining first quarter. Starks on a quick release, and it's rebounded by Kemp.
See how slow the Knicks big men were to that ball versus Kemp.
Kemp put it behind the back and nearly had it knocked away and then lost control. Not a good move by Sean Kemp trying to go the distance. And as you watch this move, it's difficult to tell in slow motion, but that's about as close to traveling without it being called as you could hope for.
Then he goes behind the back.
Knicks with the ball. They're down 15-8. And the foul called on McKee.
Officials are all over the defense. So the players must adjust. They must get the message.
And George Karl up and unhappy, contesting the last couple of calls. George not a happy man about the officiating last night in Phoenix. In the first quarter last night, the Suns went 15 of 16 from the line, while Seattle had only one free throw. Doc Rivers again, and it's Seattle leading by 5. Last night in Portland, the Knicks went a long time before going to the line, and that for a technical foul. Michael Cage with the outside touch. Sonics lead by 7.
To be exact, Marv, as you recall, the Knicks did not shoot a foul shot in the first half, which means they weren't putting offensive pressure on Portland.
Pass intended from Mason. Cage got a piece of it. McMillan trying to go behind the back. Stolen by Rivers, and he's taken down. So the foul is called on McMillan.
Fundamentals of basketball say it's wise to throw a fake to the defense before you pass the ball. The Knicks big men are guilty of not doing that. They sight who they want to pass the ball to, and they give them no deception. They give no deception to the defense.
The rookie Hubert Davis has checked in.
Taking a look at that last play, Charles Oakley tried to throw that lead pass, but defense was all over him. Fortunately, his teammate, Doc Rivers, responded.
Dana Barros now coming on for the first time. Gary Payton gets a hand as he leads. Prior to the game, Dana Barros, in his 4th season out of Boston College, was honored for leading the NBA in three-point shooting last year. Won the title on the very last day of the season. That's an illegal defense called on Seattle for the first time. You know, Dana Barros is the first Seattle Supersonic to win an NBA statistical championship since downtown Fred Brown also won the three-point title back in 79-80. 3.5 to go in this first quarter. Mason, yes. Anthony Mason not a factor last night, coming off the strong finish against the Celtics at the Garden on Saturday. But Anthony hits on his first field goal attempt. The Knicks trail 17-12. Kemp called for the foul. He was pushing off as he made the turn. Offensive foul.
Very nice matchup now with Anthony Mason on Kemp. Kemp bouncing his way in, puts that right hand around Mason, and that's what the foul was. Certainly didn't hurt Mason, but the official didn't like it.
Eddie Johnson coming on now, replacing Sean Kemp, who leaves with just a field goal for 2. Kemp picking up the early foul. Eddie Johnson, a player who provides instant offense. Mason fumbled it, lost it.
He likes to get the ball down low and then dribble the ball and work his way in, but it can be difficult with people coming in to defend the initial defender.
McMillan for McKee, saving it. And it's Rivers on a steal for Davis. He's moving Barrows. Knicks want a goaltend. They do not get it, but a foul is called. Pat Riley closing in on a technical foul. He has been very explosive here in the first quarter.
Knicks with an opportunity now. Rivers giving it up to Hubert Davis, but that ball was a block, not a goaltend.
You can catch doubleheader home team action Thursday. The Knicks take on the Clippers at 10:30, following the Rangers and the Flyers right here on MSG Network. The best in the game, Rangers and Flyers. And then, well, John, you apparently had Mark Jackson on your mind a moment ago. Mark, Kiki Vandeweghe and company, LA Clippers are home at the Sports Arena for the New York Knicks. That'll be Thursday night. Airtime at 10:30. On the subject of former New York Knicks, talking about Kiki Vandeweghe and Mark Jackson, Brian Quinnett, who had a shot with the Boston Celtics and did not make the club, will make his debut tonight nearby, only 2-hour. Actually, you could have made it, John. A 2-hour drive from Seattle, the Yakima Sun Kings of the CBA, featuring Brian Quinnett, who had an excellent college career at Washington State, making his debut. Brian trying to make it back to the NBA, and we wish him well.
Well, that's a t-shirt I don't have.
I think that Brian could arrange it for the right price. I understand they are marketing extremely well. That's Johnson, but it won't count. Offensive foul. Eddie Johnson called for the foul.
Eddie Johnson, one of the game's outstanding scorers. Give him 10 minutes, he'll get you 10 or 12 points.
Rolando Blackman, as you saw on the floor, he drew that foul. Rolando making his return from the strained calf injury last night, and had problems with the timing, as you might expect, in getting back into it against Portland. Here's Smith on the putback. So the Knicks have cut it to 2 with 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Boy, Charles used his body well on that play.
McKee with the spin. Pretty move by McKee against Mason.
Tough matchup. McKee is 6'10".
And this is a call away from the ball. It's on Michael Cage. Seattle is over the foul limit. So Charles Smith will go to the line. Pat Riley now has a backcourt of Greg Anthony and Rolando Blackman. Charles Smith up front, along with Anthony Mason. Actually, a 3-guard offense. It's Blackman, Davis, and Anthony with Mason and Smith. We saw this upon occasion last night against the Trailblazers.
Smith doing his best to get into stride here with the Knicks. He has been playing an average of 20 minutes a game through the first 6 games of this season. Charles looks like the kind of player, though, that needs a lot of time on the floor to get loose and get into the flow of things. And with Patrick Ewing picking up 2 fouls in the first quarter, he's getting that chance tonight.
A hand provided for Nate McMillan, replaced by Gary Payton. Seattle 19, the Knicks 16. 1:40 to go. First quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Seattle Center Coliseum in Seattle, Washington for the Knicks game 2 of the 3-game Western Swing. Good hands by Anthony. Anthony with a steal behind the back for Davis. And he blows the layup. Rebound Mason. Knicks want a goaltend. Do not get it.
The ease of dunking the basketball hit Hubert Davis on that.
Johnson kept alive by Cage. Payton being guarded by Davis. Johnson rejected. Smith with the block. 11 on the 24. It'll be Seattle ball.
Charles Smith showing quickness, helping out his teammate. Man cuts down the middle. Smith quickly to the rescue and slaps that away.
Shot clock at 5. McKee stopped by Mason. Another rejection by the Knicks. Last touch by Mason. And Anthony Mason having some words with Michael Cage. Only 2 on the 24. The inbound stolen by Davis.
Oh, the Knicks so alive and alert defensively here.
And Anthony called for the double dribble.
A waste of energy, Greg.
Anthony tried to sell his case to Hugh Hollins, who did not even look at it.
He would have lost that in the park.
35 seconds left in this first quarter. Payton played by Blackman. Barros guarded by Davis. Off the spin finds McKee. Three-point attempt. Will be air ball. 20 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Mismatch underneath. They haven't discovered Barros on Mason. No one's looking inside. Now Seattle makes the adjustment.
Anthony trying to draw the foul from Payton. Final seconds. Anthony has to force it. Mason did not like the fact that he was just taken down by McKee. Started to go at him, and then the officials separated the two players. Very physical first quarter of basketball. The Sonics with a 19-16 lead. The Knicks continue to struggle offensively.
A real winner knows how to party right. Please use good sense when you drink and know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Battle down low. Dutch boy in the paint tells the story of the first quarter with the Knicks with only 6 points. The Sonics banging hard, deep, hurting the Knicks with 14 points down low. Of course, that reflects Patrick Ewing's absence for 8 minutes of the first quarter due to 2 fouls.
Second quarter underway. The Knicks 7 of 18 from the field. In the first quarter, Seattle at 9 of 19. And the Knicks are down by the score of 19-16. Seattle went on a run of 13-2 burst, but then they were stopped. Good defensive play and a beautiful move by Mason. Good defensive play by the Knicks the last few moments of that first quarter. And now the Knicks trail by 1.
Mason beat 2 6'10" men to get that shot off.
Kemp will just check back in with his second field goal. He has 4. Sonics 21, Knicks 18. Knicks staying with the 3-guard alignment. Davis on a quick release. Hubert Davis with his first field goal.
Matchup favors Hubert at 6'4". Barros at 5'11".
Kemp trying to go baseline and then a stop. Sean Kemp not making good decisions. Here's Davis wide open off the screen. Barros for 3. And last touch by Seattle. Well, George Karl is down to 9 men tonight with the absence of the injured Ricky Pierce and Benoit Benjamin. They've been traveling with 11. Backup center Rich King is also injured, so Gerald Catio will come on, and everyone has played except for Steve Scheffler, who will see action later on. Gerald Catio, one-time Cleveland Cavalier, originally drafted by the Boston Celtics out of Nevada, Las Vegas. Here's Blackman, yes. Rolando Blackman hitting. And the Knicks have taken a 22-21 lead. Rolando last night playing only 10 minutes, trying to get back into it.
Rolando playing some forward now for the Knicks.
Yes, he's matched with Eddie Johnson. Mason, yes.
That's what's known as sticking the jump shot. That was from decent range.
The Knicks 24 and the Sonics 21.
Knicks defense really toughened after that run that the Sonics had mid-first quarter.
Kemp. Smith swatting it over to Davis. Knicks on the run, but the Sonics got back. Now Davis picked up by Johnson on the switch.
Mason doesn't want to shoot a jumper quite yet again.
Pass, and Smith able to hit. Oh, he was traveling. Nice entry pass, but Smith called for the travel, and he will sit down as Patrick Ewing returns.
Well, Charles Smith played the last 8 minutes of the first quarter, starting to get his act together down low, but he dragged that foot on the way to the basket.
Patrick Ewing playing with 2 personals, as is Sean Kemp. Here's Johnson. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Ewing with the front step. Crowd wanted to travel. Here comes Payton. Well, Payton connects with the pull-up. It's the Knicks 24, the Sonics 23.
Payton, a more confident player offensively. He looks for that shot quickly now. He's overplaying Anthony, denying the pass to him. That takes a lot of energy.
3-second violation.
So important for the outside people, the man handling the ball, to get something done. The initial seconds of the offensive play, and they just couldn't get it done. Racing back to Payton, overplaying Anthony, denying him the pass.
One-on-one move by Kemp. Davis got a hand on it, broke it up, and again Kemp turns it over.
Very immature play by Kemp, just forcing himself into play and trying to draw a foul by jumping into people.
The Knicks 24, the Sonics 23. Mason battling for position with Patio. That's Anthony on the tip. Anthony fires it up. Ewing back taps, and it's kept alive by Mason.
Mason's looking for Ewing.
Again to the double team on Ewing. Patio over to help out. Ewing squaring up.
Well done. Patience paid off by Ewing and Mason. What Mason did well, Marv, on that play was clear out, and he drew his defensive man with him, enabling Ewing to go one-on-one.
The Knicks take a 3-point lead. Second field goal for Ewing. Has 4 points. Here's Johnson. It's 26. Seattle 25. Pat Riley staying with the 3-guard lineman. And setting it up here with Mason flashing down low. Davis. Yes.
Blackman enjoying that also as he distributed the ball. Followed up with a few instructions as he came down court. He's talking to the rookie, Hubert Davis.
Knicks lead by 3. Now Kemp back in. Sean Kemp continues to force the issue. Hugh Holland's blowing the whistle. The illegal, that's the second time a technical foul against Seattle. Knicks hit with one early. This the second on the Sonics. And the question is who will shoot the technical foul. Apparently they'll shoot it after the timeout. The Sonics falling for time with 6:36 to go, first half.
Right now, midway through the second quarter, have established their presence in this game after letting it slide mid-first quarter. Their defense is digging in, and the bench is contributing. Our Midas bench breakdown points out that the Knicks are killing the Sonics off the bench, 13-2. Last night, however, the Knicks got killed in that department for the first time this season. It had been 2-1 in favor of the Knicks bench prior to last evening. Well, they're back on track.
Orlando Blackman shooting the tee for the illegal defense, not able to hit.
Happy news out of Nick camp today. We find out that Dave Checkett's wife gave birth to a 7-pound, 9-ounce Elizabeth Ann Checkett. Congratulations to Dave Checkett's and his wife Deb.
And Blackman Blackman able to hit again, a second field goal. Yes, Elizabeth, the 6th child for Evan Dave Checketts. Mother and child resting comfortably, we're told. And Knicks club president also holding up well, hanging in there. That's a 3-point attempt. And the call, last touch by the Knicks. I think Elizabeth is watching.
If she's a true member of the Checketts family.
Well, although it could be early feeding time.
She had her nap, had her dinner at 5 o'clock.
Knicks lead the Sonics 30-25 as we come up on 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Now, the Knicks were destroyed off the boards last night by Portland. A different story here tonight. Kemp with the step, and it is a goaltend. The basket will count.
Costly. Ewing twisted his ankle, but he bounces right back. Patrick becoming a little more aggressive now. We haven't seen this swoop type move out of Ewing thus far this year. First time we've really seen him going after people.
Now the Knicks have out-rebounded the Sonics 18-9. McMillan called for the foul using the elbow. Here comes Derek McKee replacing Gary Payton. A lot of shuffling by George Karl with the shorter roster. Fifth different starting lineup in 6 games used by the Sonics. Anthony trying to go baseline was hit by McMillan. He was blocked. That's 3 on McMillan. Now Blackman sits down, and Rolando has to feel pretty good about things. Hit a couple of jump shots. Looking sharper than he did last night. McMillan departing after picking up his 3rd. So Payton is back.
I think Anthony liked to play against McMillan more because he could drive on him. Payton's a tougher man to get around for Greg Anthony.
Ewing played by McKee. And McKee slaps it away. Good play. It'll be Nick Ball with 9 on the 24. Knicks now have a front line of Mason, Oakley, and Ewing. Davis and Anthony in the backcourt. John Starks getting set to return. Davis again is open. And the battle between Cage and Oakley. Foul called on Oakley. That's 2 for Charles. Starks for Davis. So Hubert Davis sitting down, leaves with 4 points. 5.5 remaining in this first half. Game 2 of a 3-game Western swing. The Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers from L.A. on Thursday night. Starting 10:30 New York time. Kemp with the spin.
Looked like a walk at the end of that move as Cage tips in that miss.
Michael Cage has played well. Starks going all the way, trying to get it high over Kemp. Hopefully off the fake. Rebound Ewing. Nice touch by Ewing. Knicks lead 32-29.
If Starks would only think of a layup off the backboard, the conventional type layup, he wouldn't have to be so concerned about jumping over taller people.
McKee drawing a double team. Here's Johnson. Johnson on the 10. Sonics down by 1.
One thing that Sonics do so well as a team is get to the basketball. The big men can move quickly.
Mason. Way off. He felt the touch. Crowd looking for a foul call on Ewing, who came over the top. Well, Mason hit a couple of jumpers early and may be a little too jump shot happy at this point. Here's Cage. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Ewing. Oh, Patrick Ewing with a back-in fadeaway. The Knicks lead 34-31. 8 points for Ewing.
He can present that ball right to Cage. Cage is not going to block Ewing.
Kemp. Sean Kemp has really struggled. 3 of 9 from the field and bad decisions. Anthony. Rebound one you rarely see.
He forced that shot, but had the good instinct to follow it up.
Knicks 36, Seattle 31.
Offense has really decayed.
Eddie Johnson hitting on the scoop.
It's a one-on-one situation for the Sonics.
The Knicks lead is 3. Ewing making that return pass and getting it out to Mason. Mason with the good hands and goes for a hook. Rebound Ewing. Ewing looking very alive, more so than we've seen since opening night against Atlanta.
He's going to the boards, Marv. If you just put that effort to going toward the boards, sometimes you get the ball bouncing off as he just did. Things come your way the harder you work.
Ewing is 4 out of 5. 10 points. I checked that 5 out of 7 for 10 points. Shot clock at 4. Sean Kemp hitting from outside, and it cuts that Knicks lead down to 3.
Among his many skills is the ability to shoot the ball outside like a small forward.
Starts for 3. And Payton gets it down. Johnson ahead of the field, and it's a goal tag.
Starks' responsibility to protect that backcourt when you take that long shot, and he didn't do it. Starks took the long shot, and that ball was passed by Starks to Eddie Johnson.
Timeout called by the Knicks. 1:52 remaining in the first half.
One of the great things about MSG Sports Desk is
Staring right now. He's taking an eye-open snooze, it looked like. Patrick Ewing playing very big in the first half for the Knicks. And we look at our Old Spice leaders in the NBA. He and Sean Kemp tied for number 5 position in the NBA in rebounding. Shaquille O'Neal will drop by the Gardens Saturday night. He's leading the league in that department.
He will drop by, huh? Yeah. Knicks lead 38-37. Good pass from Starks. And Patrick Ewing makes it 6 for 8 from the field. He has 12 points. This after that early foul trouble. He sat down early after picking up a second foul. Charles Smith getting set to return. Here's Gerald Patio. Knicks by 1. Patio out of Nevada, Las Vegas. 3rd-round pick of the Celtics back in '88. He's been all around. He's played parts of a couple of years in the CBA. Signed by the Sonics as a free agent. 22nd timeout being taken by Seattle as Smith checks in. 1:08 to go in this first half. The Knicks lead by 1. Well, this program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated is prohibited. Patrick Ewing with a big second quarter. Ewing with 10 of his 12 points coming here in the second.
Patrick looks very, very sharp. And more importantly, Marv, he's sharp at the defensive end as well. Right from the start of this game, he and Oakley and front line were all over the boards on missed shots. They're not getting hurt. The Knicks are not getting hurt on the defensive boards as they were last night.
John, it cannot be said that the Knicks are playing soft tonight. That was what Pat Riley said after the game last night in Portland. Here's Rivers. That was a 3-point attempt. Patio on the rebound.
Charles Smith caught a little bit too underneath the basket. He couldn't rebound because of that.
Cage able to wrestle it free. And he was pushed by Smith. That's 3 on Smith.
Last night after the game, Pat Riley said his team played very, very soft. Their worst effort of the year and not one good defensive play all night. Well, that's been rectified here in the first half tonight.
Double team on Payton. Finds the open man, Patio. Starks checking the clock, 35 seconds left in the half. Looking for the screen, did not get it. Mason, yes. Anthony Mason with the outside touch. Knicks lead 42-39.
Very impressive shooting by Anthony Mason.
Kemp getting inside. He has 10 points. 15 seconds to go in the half. The Knicks by 1. Oakley comes out to set the pick. 5 seconds to go. Starks with 3. We have 7/10 seconds remaining. And it's ruled last touch by Seattle. So the Knicks will inbound.
They have time to get a shot off.
7/10 of a second. Oakley to the hoop. Tipped by Smith. Almost worked. That's the end of the half here in Seattle. The Knicks 42, the Seattle Supersonics 41. Coming up at halftime, Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk. And we'll be back with first half highlights. So stay with me. He leads Seattle with 10, and the Knicks 42, the Sonics 41. Let's go to Bob Page.
All right, thank you very much, Marv. Good evening again, everybody. In case you missed it, the Nets earlier tonight dropped a 108-97 decision at home to the Utah Jazz. So New Jersey falls to 3-4 on the young season. Chuck Daly got a 25-point performance out of Drazen Petrovic. And Kenny Anderson chipped in with 25, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. The Queens products coast-to-coast layup cut Utah's lead to 55, 49 seconds before halftime. But Jerry Sloan saw his Jazz break it open in the third quarter when they outscored New Jersey 23-12. John Stockton had 12 assists in the game, picking up one here as he feeds Karl Malone, who led all scorers with 29 points and 16 rebounds. And a costly win tonight for Charlotte over Dallas. Ex-Knick Johnny Newman, the team's leading scorer, broke his left hand in the ball game. He will be lost to the Hornets for at least the next 5 weeks. The Major League Baseball expansion draft is over, and the Yankees' worst fears have been realized. In addition to losing minor league prospects Brad Ausmus and Carl Everett, third baseman Charlie Hayes, who never should have been left unprotected, was the third player taken overall going to Colorado.
Well, we knew we lost a good player, and we knew we were going to lose a good player regardless of who was picked. But, you know, Charlie played very well for us, and we knew it was a risk leaving him out there. And, you know, now we can't dwell on it. We have to go about not only replacing Charlie, but trying to even improve at that position. There are ways to do it, and we'll try to work it out.
Meanwhile, the Mets lost third baseman Chris Donalds and minor league pitchers Jose Martinez and John Johnstone. Martinez was the 4th pick overall. A flurry of trades tonight after the expansion draft had been completed as expected. To highlight them, Colorado sent outfielder Kevin Reimer to Milwaukee for Dante Bichette and Jody Reed to the Dodgers in exchange for pitcher Rudy Cianes. Florida traded pitcher Greg Hibbert to the Cubs in exchange for 2 prospects, including local New York area product Gary Scott. A's shortstop Walt Weiss of Suffern, New York, was traded to Florida in exchange for minor leaguers, and the Marlins sent pitcher Danny Jackson to the Philadelphia Phillies, again in exchange for a couple of kids. In a big non-expansion deal, Lou Piniella picked up his former left-handed reliever Norm Charlton from Cincinnati in exchange for Seattle slugger Kevin Mitchell. I'll have more in a moment. 20 matches and 4 straight tourneys coming in. She even led 5-1 in the first set, but McNeil forced a tiebreak. Coming in behind her serve there, put a backhand volley in to win 7-6, 7-1 in the breaker. Graf lost the second set 6-4 as McNeil, ranked number 18 in the computer, makes it past the opening round of this event for the first time in her career. What happened, Steffi?
She played extremely good match. I mean, I've played her many times, but I haven't really played her playing that well. She made very few mistakes. Came in with very low, deep approaches, and there was nothing really I could do. And I didn't play well enough in every set when it was important.
In another upset that followed that, number 6 seed Mary Jo Fernandez lost to unseeded Yana Novotná. We're usually here at 11 with our expanded edition of the show. Not tonight because of the Knicks game. Back to that in a moment.
Back in Seattle, the Knicks with a 42-41 lead on the Sonics at halftime. A look at the leading scorers summary brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Patrick Ewing with a very strong second quarter. 10 of his 12 points coming in the second. Anthony Mason had the jump shot going. 7 points for Rivers, 4 apiece for Davis and Blackman. Seattle led by Sean Kemp, although he did not shoot particularly well. 7 for Payton, 6 for Johnson. Now, John, the Knicks lead by only 1 point at halftime, but I would think Pat Riley has to be satisfied with the effort that he got in the first half, in particular when you look back to what took place last night in Portland.
Yes, much better effort on both ends of the court. It appeared that the Knicks were going to get blown out there in mid-first quarter, but they turned it up defensively and stopped. They thwarted the Sonics, Marv.
Thwarted, a good word for you.
Stopped them in their tracks, and they kept rolling. Despite Ewing getting in foul trouble early, the Knicks did not lose any ground in this game. Very good effort so far.
I don't think I've ever heard her use that word, thwarted. Excellent, John.
You haven't been listening.
A look at the halftime highlights brought to you by Minolta, creators of the world's most responsive SLR cameras, the new Maxim XI series.
Sean Kemp coming into this game tonight, leading his team in scoring, drawing lots of attention from Anthony Mason. Kemp went to the middle, shot over everybody on a nice move. That was one of his better moves of the half. Knicks got things going. John Starks into Patrick Ewing when Patrick was in the game in the first half. Beautifully done. No dribble to allow the defense to bother him. Greg Anthony at one point forced a shot up, but he had the good basketball instinct to follow his own shot up and make a layup out of that follow-up. Nicely done by Greg Anthony.
So the Knicks able to turn it from a 16-point first quarter, and at the half they lead 42-41.
After weeknight Nick and Ranger home games, catch sports.
Marv Albert, John Andres, back at the Coliseum in Seattle. The Knicks with a 1-point lead as we head to the second half. The Knicks shooting 43% on 20 out of 46, while the Sonics at 47% shooting.
The big change for the Knicks tonight is on the boards. Well, the message got through after that disappointing effort last night. They came out strong. And how about the offensive rebounds? The Knicks dominating the offensive boards and denying the Sonics offensive rebounds. Bench scoring, the Knicks doing a big job, 21-8 over the Sonics. Anthony Mason had an excellent first half. Very important to the Knicks' success here in the first half. In only 17 minutes, 8 points and 5 rebounds.
Well, last night, the Knicks overwhelmed by the Trailblazers in Portland. But it has been a different story here, although they still are clinging to a 1-point lead. But the tempo of play is certainly a different story. Knicks and Clippers to wind up this road trip Thursday night in Los Angeles. We'll be on the air starting at 10:30. Here's Starks. And it will be Seattle ball.
Tony Campbell had 7 minutes of play in the first half, had a field goal and 3 shot attempts.
Kemp with Cage and McKee up front. Payton and McMillan in the backcourt. McMillan posting up on Starks. Rebounded by Oakley, doing it in heavy traffic. Campbell on the front line with Ewing and Oakley, and Rivers and Starks in the backcourt. Kemp and Ewing are playing with 2 fouls. McMillan has 3. Shot clock at 7. Sean Kemp. Sonics lead by 1.
That's what makes it so tough. Everyone knows he wants to slam dunk, but when he goes to that jump shot when the defense is ready for him, it makes him double tough.
Starks met on the switch by Cage. Starks is hesitant to shoot. Ewing tried to sweep it home. Last touch by Seattle.
John's got the head down. I don't think he wanted to shoot that ball, Marv. He's missing somewhat. He knows there was an imbalance in the offense last night with he and Ewing doing most of the shooting.
Starks hitting on his first field goal. He had missed his previous 6 shots. McKee. Eric McKee will go to the foul line.
That was on number 9, Tony Campbell. His second.
Called for the foul. Minute 40 gone by. Third quarter. Knicks lead 44-43. And 2 shots for Derek McKee. He began last season as the focal point of the offense. 20 points a game, but a variety of injuries dragged his season down. Missed 30 games in all because of injuries. For the most part bothered by a torn ligament in his right thumb. It's a guy whose name is constantly on the trade speculation. Derek McKee has a lot of talent.
Well, Starks has taken 4 jump shots here in the early moments of the third quarter.
Seattle leads by 1. Second timeout called by Seattle as Cage took a shot in the eye.
Looking at John Starks, Marv, after shot attempts, got his head down. It's rare you see him. Just like you we're seeing right now. He's like that on the floor, too, when he misses shots. He seems to be pouting within himself to some degree, not happy with his own output.
Starks 1 for 7 from the field.
Charles Oakley just gave him a shot. Now Doc Rivers is doing the same thing. They're all patting him on the back. It's evident to his teammates.
Similar to the way we try to get you up during the meetings before the game, John, because frankly we're sick of your pouting.
That's why I'm very sensitive to Starks right now.
You can relate. 7. Shot clock at 5. And Kemp has found the touch.
Well, if the Knicks have a choice, it would be to let Kemp shoot long jump shots rather than let him find the room he wants down low.
Kemp now has 14. He got off to the slow start. Knicks trail by 3.
At the defensive end, though, he's got the night off with Charles Oakley not even looking for the ball.
Tony Campbell. Second field goal for Campbell. He has 4. Sonics lead 47-46. Oakley stealing from Kemp.
Oh, what a fine play by Charles, digging in on Kemp.
Starks with the spin. He drew the foul. John Starks will go to the line. That's number 4 for Nate McMillan.
Good move by John, serving up some variety in his offense. He was living on that jump shot. This time he presented the drive, a very deceptive drive as well.
John Starks just under 90% from the foul line. He's averaging about 15 per game. The game is tied at 47. 3 minutes gone by third quarter. Reach and foul. John Starks. Starks and Oakley attempting to double team, and Starks called for the foul. It's a non-shooting affair, and McMillan will throw in. Nate McMillan still discussing that last foul that he picked up a minute ago, which was his 4th. Here's Kemp. Time Ewing closed in on him, respecting the jumper. Rivers. Well, the Knicks have gone cold once again.
Rivers not happy with himself with that wide open jump shot.
Kemp had it knocked away by Oakley. And the foul is called on Charles. Third on Oakley, third team foul on the Knicks.
Kemp becoming the focal point of the offense now in the third quarter for the Sonics. Whoever is guarding him, in this case Oakley, has to be very active because that's how Kemp is.
Tried to dish it off, fired one intended for Cage.
On the outside picks that the Sonics set, matter of fact, any team that does that with the Knicks want the big men, the forwards, Ewing or Oakley, to come out and double team. What they have to do then is get back quickly when they stop the move by the guard and cover their men. The Knicks have done a good job at that.
Nice pass from Starks. Oakley giving the Knicks a 49-47 lead. First field goal for Charles Oakley. Payton setting it against Rivers. McKee played by Campbell. Trying to shake him off. And he's fouled, held by Campbell. Once again, McKee will go to the line. That's 3 on Campbell. And the Knicks with their 4th team foul. Eric McKee in his 6th season out of Alabama.
He has become one of the all-time Sonics in performance in only 5 seasons. Coming in this year as their 8th leading all-time shot blocker. Also up there among the top 10 in steals. A very well-balanced man for 6'10". He does a lot of things than just shoot the basketball. His career average is 14 a game.
Knicks and Sonics tied at 49. Light pressure by Seattle. Ewing asking for the ball. Rivers recaptured. There's Campbell, had it knocked away. 4 on the 24. Ewing fires. Rebounded by Rivers. And a loose ball foul called on the Knicks.
George Karl off the bench, furious.
It's on Rivers. And it puts the Knicks over the limit.
A lot of time left in the third quarter.
Eddie Johnson checking back in. As George Karl on that last flurry raced out towards center court. George Karl, one-time coach at Cleveland, Golden State, coached Real Madrid in Spain for a while, 3-time coach of the year in the CBA. And had played 5 seasons in the ABA with San Antonio. Played also a couple of years with San Antonio in the NBA. Turned things around when he took over the club last January. Had a dramatic impact on the Sonics. It'll be Nick Ball.
Well, that win over Golden State in the playoffs had to be one of his career highlights. Don Nelson's Golden State Warriors, very tough last year, finished strong, and Nelson was one of George Karl's biggest fans. They have a very close relationship.
In fact, he was scouting for Nelson for a while. That foul on Ewing setting the illegal pick, so it's 3 called on Ewing. Substitutions for the Knicks: Anthony Mason, Hubert Davis replaced John Starks and Tony Campbell.
The Knicks in a penalty situation now with 7:12 to go in the third quarter. They've got to be careful with their fouling now.
And 3 apiece on Ewing and Oakley. Sonics have jumped to a 1-point lead, 50-49. Johnson with the step. It counts. And the foul. Foul called on Mason.
Nicely set up by Payton. McKee going in low. Going to that left hand. Beautifully done off the backboard.
Why did Hertz invent #1 club goal service? To beat the rush hour. See, every plane and everybody seems
teamwork play.
And Derek McKee not able to complete the 3-point play. Derek McKee on that drive, not Eddie Johnson. And McKee has given the Sonics a 3-point lead. Oh, what a save.
Ewing was so afraid to commit the offensive foul on that drive.
And out of absolutely nowhere, this man goes, "Who wants a spank?"
Now Johnson posting Davis. Don't count. Whistle before the shot. And Johnson will not get the continuation.
The foul is on for 44 Anthony Davis. He's first.
Tough defense being presented. That elbow splashed out by Johnson, but the foul went in his favor before the shot. Pat Riley was up yelling at the officials, undoubtedly saying, hey, there was an offensive foul with that elbow being thrown.
And Charles Smith checks back in over at the scorer's table. But with the Knicks over the limit, they are getting hurt. Eddie Johnson has 2 shots. Here's Smith replacing Oakley. Oakley leads with only 1 of 3 from the field and has not done it off the boards tonight. Seattle leads 54-49.
Looking to go inside, but the big men are a little confused. Smith and Ewing trying to work out their coordination. And Rivers is waiting them out.
Shot clock at 3. Ewing with the rebound. Ewing again. Oh, yes, and it counts. Very tough sequence for Patrick Ewing.
The foul is on number 40, Sean Kemp, his 3rd.
Rivers on that shot. He had no other options at that point. Ewing quickly to the rebound. And he stopped momentarily, but keeps working it out now on his way to a 3-point play. After the play, Doc Rivers went over to Ewing and spoke about, obviously, about their attempt to get the ball into him.
Foul committed by Kemp, his 3rd. Ewing completing the 3-point play, so he has 15. And the Knicks are within 2 points with just under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Here's Johnson. A runner by Eddie Johnson. Sonics lead 56-52. Johnson off the bench to hit for 12. Mason left open off the double team on Ewing.
3rd jump shot for Mason tonight.
Sonics lead 56-54. Sonics regroup. And Payton drills it home. Seattle by 4. Again, the double team this time on Smith. And they're able to strip him. 3-on-1. Johnson kicking it back out. There's Payton accelerating. McKee shooting. Rivers and Davis in the backcourt. Ewing with Smith and Mason up front. And the call against the Knicks.
Looks like Davis might have stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
Trying to back up to set up, and he stepped out. Greg Anthony was trying to check in, and Greg Willard says no, not yet. 4:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Seattle Center Coliseum. Out of 14,000 on hand, and they react as Eddie Johnson is fouled, so he'll go back to the line. Foul called on Hubert Davis. Now Anthony waved on. So Anthony replaces Rivers.
Eddie Johnson at 6'7" was matched up with Hubert Davis. Same thing that we spoke of the other night. Davis knows it's coming. They're going to take him down low. He is 3 inches shorter than Johnson, and the Sonics struck right at that. Got something out of it with Johnson drawing the foul.
Johnson a 79% free throw shooter. Did not shoot well last year, 45%, but went through some hot streaks to spark the Sonics. And a foul is called against Seattle.
Well, when you go back 2 years, Marv, the Sonics traded Xavier McDaniel to Phoenix, and they got Eddie Johnson and 2 #1 draft picks. Quite a move for the Sonics.
McKee was called on that foul. Anthony being played by Payton. Davis can't find the shot. He's being guarded by Johnson. Mason off the hesitation dribble is fouled.
Foul is on number 8, Eddie Johnson, his third.
That's 3 on Johnson. And Mason to the free throw line. The Knicks to the line for their 9th and 10th foul shots.
A lot of communication between Patrick Ewing and Hubert Davis. Patrick very vocal, more than I've seen him this season with his teammates. Congratulated Mason on that move. Then he went out and talked to Davis at half court. I think it dealt with getting the ball into him. Hubert was trying to throw it in high, and I think Ewing was indicating bounce it in.
Seattle by 4. As we come up on 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Anthony with a steal. Ewing from Mason. And Kemp with the rebound. Here's Johnson.
Bad gamble by Greg Anthony. He could have stayed back and made that break difficult, but he went for the steal with no one behind him.
Sonics by 6. They've led by as many as 7.
See the difference this time. Davis gave it to him on the bounce.
And a 3-second violation called on Charles Smith. Pat Riley calling for a timeout.
Substitution for the Sonics, number 10.
3:25 remaining in the third, and this crowd reacts to the Sonics.
Everybody came over and looked at it. What kind of car is that? What kind of car is that?
A Saturn. What? A Saturn. What is it? A Saturn. You like it?
The only thing I don't like about the vehicle, I can't really say there isn't anything I don't like. It's a fun vehicle.
I look up, and on my right is a big sign that said Saturn. Well, that very day I whipped in, found the car I liked, and bought one. That's a fact.
PC Richard & Son is the place for the holidays. Right now, get this RCA 20-inch cable-ready color TV just $227. This 5-inch ACDC color TV now just $197. And save over $200 on this RCA compact VHS camcorder. Now only $697. 0% financing for 120 days with a PC Richard credit card. For holiday gifts, come to PC Richard & Son, the electronics and appliance giant.
Isn't it wonderful? A tire so special, it may last as long as you own your car. The XH4. Congratulations. It's a Michelin.
Now you can own a set of Michelin radials and get more mileage for less money. The Michelin XH4 80,000-mile all-season radial is even more affordable now through December 20th. See us for details and look for our ads in Newsday or visit one of the 10 convenient WTC auto centers today.
Remember, when you're having good times with friends, use good sense and drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser.
Seattle with the 6-point lead as we resume. The Knicks shooting has gone in the other direction this third quarter. Meanwhile, Seattle continues to march to the free throw line. Again, Eddie Johnson to the line. He has been able to exploit the mismatch with Hubert Davis.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how long Pat Riley sticks with this matchup, because the Sonics are going right at Eddie Johnson, who is the story of the lead right now. They're pulling out because of Eddie Johnson.
It is now 9 of the last Seattle points scored by Johnson. He has 17 points to make it 18 for the game. And this is the biggest lead for Seattle, a margin of 8.
Impressive dribbling by Mason.
Here's Davis. Oh, Oh, nice tip by Smith. Sonics lead 64-58. Kemp being played by Smith. Kemp with the back-end move, knocked away. Third steal for Anthony. And it's Ewing with the tip. So the Knicks have come within 4. Two and a half remaining in the third quarter. Now Mason guarding Johnson. Shot clock at 4. It's a 24-second violation. Excellent defensive sequence by the Knicks.
What was noticeable there was that the Knicks defenders kept putting their hands up as the Sonics began their shooting.
And now Derek McKee.
3 seconds violation.
Report back in. Also, well, no, wait a moment. They say 3-second violation. Just must have been a fraction of a second prior to the 24. Here's Davis. And he drew the foul.
Well, he or the man setting the pick for him, in this case Patrick Ewing, Eddie Johnson was physical on the pick that was set.
And as you see, that number 4 on Eddie Johnson. So 4 apiece on Johnson and McMillan. Rolando Blackman is at the scorer's table, getting set. Come on, he played 9 minutes first half and 2 of 2 from the field. Well, Patrick Ewing to the line. He's 1 for 1 from the line. And Blackman comes on for Davis. Davis did not have the stroke going tonight. 2 of 7 from the floor.
If the Sonics maintain the matchup out there, and they do, it will be, well, Blackman now, the Knicks have made a switch. Mason will switch to Eddie Johnson.
Seattle has a 3-point lead. Just under 2 minutes to go in the third. That's a 3-pointer for Johnson, wide open.
Nobody was guarding him. Confusion by the Knicks and finding out who was guarding who.
21 for Johnson. He leads the Sonics. To the drop step. Rebounded by McMillan. Seattle with a 6-point lead and the ball. Now Kemp being played by Mason. Smith over to help. 5:24. Down to 2. McMillan. And Mason able to handle it on the box out. We're just under 1 minute to go in the third. Anthony with a nice move. And it's last touch by Seattle.
That was a dynamite move by Greg Anthony. Back to the old problem, though, of finishing the shot, putting it in the basket.
Greg Anthony with 3 steals thus far tonight. Leads the NBA in total of steals, but in per-game average, Nate McMillan of the Sonics is number 1. Anthony is number 2. Blackman with a force, but he hits it. 2 seconds gone by the 24, but he fired it up, but he hit, and he's 3 of 3 from the field.
Good sign for Orlando, feeling the touch on that.
Sonics now lead by 4. Illegal defense called once again. Looks like Kemp took a shot out, and a technical foul again handed out. Eddie Johnson will shoot the technical. Sonics 68, the Knicks 63. Johnson is being guarded by Blackman. Blackman got picked off, and Ewing had a switch. Ewing with a steal. Ewing 0 for 1. And Ewing was held. And that is number 5 on Nate McMillan. With Seattle over the limit, Ewing will shoot 2.
Well, McMillan, his style of game is loved by George Karl. A lot of rumors about McMillan being traded earlier, but George Karl likes Nate McMillan's aggressiveness.
Substitution for Seattle.
Patrick Ewing is 3 of 4 from the line. And here's Barros for McMillan. Ewing trying to cut it down to a 3-point Seattle lead. Anthony getting inside. And apparently stepped in too quickly. It is a lane violation, and it will be Seattle ball.
Greg Anthony did a terrific job getting to the other side of the basket, but as you mentioned, Marv, he left too quickly. He was in rebounding position. He went after that ball.
Down to 10 seconds left in the third. McKee called for travel. Tried the head fake. We're down to 6 and 7/10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Anthony putting the move on Barros. And hits. Buzzer basket by Greg Anthony. And after 3, Seattle leading the Knicks by the score of 68-66.
Greg Anthony working his way as the seconds disappear for the Knicks, and what a lift he gives the team to end the third quarter.
It was a quiet night under a full moon when suddenly... What's that?
Mind if I plug in?
So much for a quiet night.
You know what happens on nights like this?
Not that. He spoke a strange language.
I'm gonna spin some tracks so my stacks are whacked. Fill this room with a sonic boom.
So we communicated the best way we knew. How's a nice cold bud sound?
Now you're playing my tune.
Have you ever thought about wearing shoes?
I work hard. I'm always taking on a challenge, so I need a truck that's as tough as I am. I want to drive like I'm in a tank and feel like I'm in a car. I need lots of cargo space, great gas mileage, and a lot of horsepower. And it's got to be affordable. But most of all, a dependable friend. Because I enter the race every day, and I can't afford to come in second place. So, what do you got?
The Nissan 4x4 truck lease, just $219 down and $219 a month. Nissan. It's time to expect more from a truck.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the people at Nike, who encourage you to just do it. By Toyota, reminding you to always buckle up. Do it for those who love you. And by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA and the New York Knicks.
The Knicks want you to know that individual game tickets are still available for the first half of the season at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster locations.
And we're on to the fourth quarter off the buzzer basket by Anthony. The Knicks are down by 2, 68-66. And the Knicks will open up with Anthony and Blackman at the guards, Ewing, Mason, and Smith up front. Anthony going for the steal on Payton. And Kemp is fouled.
The job of dealing with Kemp is to deny him the ball inside the foul line. If you play behind him, you're going to lose in a big way because he's so versatile physically. Twist and turn and to receive the ball, and he can twist and turn and show you different moves to make the shot attempt and draw the foul as he just did. There has to be much more pressure put on him not getting the basketball.
Foul was called on Charles Smith. Kemp at 80% free throw shooter. Has 17 points. Seattle leading 70-66. Here's some light pressure being applied by Barros. Ewing putting the move on Kemp. Nice fake. And he will go to the line. So the foul is called on Shawn Kemp. That's 4 on Kemp.
See, that's a depressing moment for Shawn Kemp because he was helpless. Ewing protected the ball and drove his way to the basket. At no point did Kemp get in his way except the foul.
The Knicks with a poor shooting third quarter, 9 of 25, 36%. Seattle 7 of 11, only 11 shots, 63%, but they did damage at the foul line. 12 of 14 from the line in the third, while the Knicks were 6 of 9.
Marv, what's interesting here tonight is the use of Charles Smith by Pat Riley. He has committed himself to the use of Smith much more than any game this season at Tony Campbell's expense.
Here's McKee. 10 points for Derek McKee. Seattle leads 72-68. Ewing off the double team, had it knocked away. Good play by McKee. And it will be Seattle ball.
Credit Seattle with their quickness getting to Ewing and bothering him. As soon as he gets that ball, he's looking at 3 men around him. He must react quickly.
Yes, George Karl going to the double and triple on both Ewing and Smith.
Every team will do that to the Knicks.
Seattle with a 4-point lead. They've led most of the way. They've led by as many as 7. Here's Barros. And Payton got it back. Payton had a notion. Kemp for the foul. It's a hold on Ewing.
That was on number 33,
Patrick Ewing called for his 4th.
It's good.
And Kemp
to the line, shooting 2.
This unique, talented young man approaching the age of 23, and look how long. This is his 5th year in the NBA, from high school to the NBA. One of only 5 people in history to do that. Correction on that. His 4th year in the NBA now, and his numbers have gotten better each year.
Sonics by 5. Minute 45 gone by in the 4th. Shot clock at 5. Anthony, yes. Well, Greg Anthony showing the touch. He now has 6. Sonics lead it by 3. Seattle Supersonics with a record of 4-1. Won their first 4, including the 2 games in Japan against Houston. Beaten last night in Phoenix, while the Knicks have won 4 and lost 2. They come off the defeat in Portland last night, start of this 3-game Western swing. Good play by Ewing.
Knicks have done a good job taking a fast break away from Seattle. That's how they started this game, but they have not had many fast break opportunities.
Here's Michael Cage replacing Eddie Johnson. He sits down with 22. He's the high point man. Blackman whipping by McKee, getting it to Ewing. Nicely done by Rolando Blackman.
A very big game for Rolando. He's getting plenty of time and contributing.
And And the Knicks have come within 1 point. McKee fouled by Smith. And here comes Charles Oakley. Now change on that call. Mason, not Smith, picks it up. Charles Smith will sit down as Charles Oakley reports back. It is a non-shooting foul, so McKee will inbound. Kemp drawing the double team. Good pressure by the Knicks. That's discouraging to the defense because the Knicks played them well.
No complaints from Pat Riley.
Mason setting the pickup high for Anthony. Ewing. Rebound McKee. Seattle with a 3-point lead. 8.5 remaining in the fourth. Illegal defense called against the Knicks. And another technical foul awarded. So Barros to the line. He is 2 of 3 from the line this season. Seattle leads 76-72. Barros played by Blackman.
Barros accepting the challenge to go around the call of Blackman, but not succeeding.
With a good effort off the board. Sonics lead by 6, and the Knicks call for time.
While the lights were out, I heard something about why Bud comes in brown bottles.
Yeah, light can hurt the taste of beer. This can hurt beer? It's the hops.
The hops, yeah, the hops.
You see, any beer made the all-natural way with nature's own hops has to be protected from light.
And Budweiser's all natural, so brown bottles.
Hey, kind of like sunglasses for beer.
You thought those bottles were empty, didn't you?
Getting into a new 93 Volkswagen Fox can be accomplished with remarkable ease, in part because of this word. It means you can lease this Wolfsburg Edition Fox for $0 down, $149 a month, complete with air, AM/FM stereo, rear defrost, power brakes, and more, all of which translates into one of the most affordable German-engineered cars around. Experience Fahrvergnügen only in a Volkswagen by leasing a Fox for $0 down, $149 a month at your Tri-State Volkswagen dealer.
Lots of credit cards will give you a cash advance, but there could be a catch. Interest charges. Some credit cards charge them from day one, which is why you should use the Discover card. Pay your full monthly balance and a small transaction fee, and we'll give you a cash advance interest-free. How does that grab you? It pays to Discover.
Well, the Sonics playing without their second leading scorer tonight, Ricky Pierce, 17 a game. More importantly, the AT&T long-distance shooting three-point leader shows that Ricky Pierce is number 2 in the NBA now. He's made 7 out of 10 this season. That's remarkable shooting. That will not continue.
Ricky Pierce sitting it out with a sore foot. And Benoit Benjamin was actually had his chin on his shoulder. I don't know what that represented, John, but Benoit.
That's what's known as snoozing.
Yes. Out with a sore left knee. So the Sonics with a 9-man available roster for tonight's game. Ewing, rebound Oakley.
Ewing's being pushed out that extra step, and it's affecting his shooting.
Here's Anthony. Greg Anthony has really come alive offensively. The Sonics lead 78-74. 7:35 remaining in this fourth quarter. 8 points for Anthony.
Greg only played 16 minutes last night in Portland.
Payton with the spin. Nice move by Gary Payton. He has 11. Seattle 80. The Knicks 74.
Seattle comes in averaging 111 per game.
Blackman rejected by Kemp. Here comes Barros. Lost his balance. Payton on the recovery through an air ball. And the foul charged to Blackman. Loose ball foul. Now John Starks back for Rolando Blackman. Prior to that miss by Payton, he had hit 6 of 6 from the field. Jumping out on the switch. Here's McKee. And the ball goes to the Knicks.
Oakley doing a lot of hard work, double teaming and then getting back all the way to the left corner to cover the next man that he had to get to.
Knicks now have a backcourt of Anthony and Starks. John Starks has not shot well tonight. Missed his first 6 before he hit a jumper. Ewing with Oakley and Mason up front. Here's Starks. Rebounded by McKee, and he's hammered by Oakley. That's 4 on Oakley. And the Knicks are over the limit.
Well, with the 7 new faces the Knicks have on their roster this year, this is one of the rare times, as the electronic wizard points out, that the Knicks are going with their 5 returning players on the court at once.
McKee is 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
Sonics are edging away from the Knicks now. This game has been so tight throughout. 7-point lead becomes a lot.
Seattle by 7. We approach 6 minutes remaining in the game. Ewing. And the foul is called. Michael Cage called for a push. Michael Cage, a very muscular 6'9", 230 pounds. His 9th NBA season out of San Diego State. Spent 4 years with the Los Angeles Clippers. This is 5th with Seattle.
He and Ewing are doing a lot of banging down low, and Cage has succeeded in getting Ewing out that extra step from where he wants to be.
Oakley with a sloppy pass, did not see McMillan. Trying to look away, and it cost. Now Payton setting it up. McKee called for a travel. Or was it a foul? Let's see. No, Mason blocking.
I thought for a moment it might be on McKee. You'll see him bump into Mason now, the end of the move. But it went in the direction of McKee.
Mason is second. McKee is 5 of 7 from the line. So he's missed his last 2. Eric McKee is only 67% at the free throw line. Seattle leading 82-74.
Knicks missing the perimeter game now as they continue to try and get that ball inside for most of this fourth quarter. They're not getting relief from the perimeter, which is really hurting them against this physical big team of Seattle.
Nate McMillan very upset with that whistle as he is fouled out. That's his sixth. So McMillan departs with 4 points. It's a non-shooting foul. Eddie Johnson checking back in.
Seattle number 8, Eddie Johnson, replaces
Nate McMillan, a player who's played all over the court at 6'5", 197 pounds. Starks, John Starks, who has not been able to find the range. That's only his second field goal. He has 5 points. Sonics now lead 82-76.
Well, he brings the balance the Knicks need now, if he can continue to hit.
Foul call, that won't count. It's on Starks.
That was on number 3, John Starks, his second.
So again, the Knicks are getting hurt by fouls. They have been over the limit for a good portion of this fourth quarter. That also the case in the third.
John demonstrating to the official how cleanly he played Johnson. But you have to credit the Sonics for going to mismatches, Marv, as quickly as they do. Eddie Johnson at 6'7" is a tough customer for John Starks, and he can get that jump shot off every time, and bang, the Sonics go right to it.
Eddie Johnson is now 8 of 8 from the line. A timeout is called. It's a 20-second timeout with 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter.
The clock ticks down to the final seconds. Enjoy a warm cup of fresh roasted Starbucks coffee.
Well, the NIT, the preseason NIT, presented by Canon, is coming to Madison Square Garden November 25th and November 27th. Don't miss this exciting tip-off of the college basketball season with semifinal and championship doubleheader action. Tickets on sale now at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster locations. To charge, call 212-307-7171.
Eddie Johnson will shoot his second. How about the Celtics dropping to 2-5, beaten by the Bullets, who are now 2-5. Utah knocking off New Jersey 108-97. The Nets are 3-4. Golden State over Miami 125-119. Some of the final scores of note. Chicago beats Minnesota 124-103. Ewing. Mason with the rebound. And Johnson comes away with it. Seattle leading 84-76. And once again, the story tonight, the Knicks offense out of sync. That has been the story right through the season.
Not enough from the outside.
Johnson for wild shot, 3-point attempt. And the call is last touch by the Knicks. Seattle gets a new 24.
So much emphasis was put into the perimeter needs in the offseason, and the Knicks certainly corrected that with personnel, but it's not happening in this game.
One of the great things about MSG Sports Desk is that we have the time to bring it to people. We're on with more highlights of the games that I think New Yorkers care about.
Come to PC Richard & Son for the complete ProScan TV line. No glare, dust-free tubes. With enhanced picture detail through 700 lines of resolution. PIP functions that swap, move, even zoom into the action. And easy-to-use universal remote control. 0% financing for 120 days with a PC Richard credit card. Apply today. For the complete ProScan TV line, come to PC Richard & Son, the TV video giant.
Isn't it wonderful? A tire so special, it may last as long as you own your car. The XH4. Congratulations. It's a Michelin.
Now you can own a set of Michelin radials and get more mileage for less money. The Michelin XH4 80,000-mile all-season radial is even more affordable now through December 20th. See us for details and look for our ads in Newsday or visit one of the 10 convenient WTC auto centers today.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the people at Nike, who encourage you to just do it. By Toyota, reminding you to always buckle up. Do it for those who love you. And by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA and the New York Knicks.
Well, John, Thursday night, a twin bill here on MSG. Rangers and Flyers get it going at 7:30. And we'll be on hand at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. Mark Jackson and the LA Clippers go against the New York Knicks at about 10:30 here on MSG, the best in the game. 4:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks are down by 8 points. Payton checking the clock. 10 on the 24. Johnson picked up on a switch, and it's stolen by Ewing. Good play by Patrick Ewing.
He ran to the right spot, and the ball came exactly where he was hoping it would.
Starks for 3. And the foul on Starks, trying to knock it away from McKee.
It seems once again, Marv, that the Knicks, when they get their jump shot opportunities, are at least 20 feet or more away from the basket. It's so difficult for this team because their lack of concentration on getting medium range jumpers, 15 to 18 feet, makes it so difficult for them.
Starks is 2 of 9 from the floor. And here's McKee.
Substitutions for New York, number 54, Charles Smith, number 20, Rolando Blackman, replacing Oakley and Starks.
Oakley and Starks sit down. Sonics by 10. It's their biggest lead of the game. Mason with a strong move. The basket counts and a foul.
Well, Anthony Mason, working against taller people with his assortment of fakes, helps him succeed. He's also had 3 good range jump shots tonight. In fact, his shooting has been the medium range jump shooting that the Knicks need, but not enough of it as a team.
13 points for Mason. Sonics 86 and the Knicks 79. Payton guarded by Anthony. We move down the stretch, coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Kemp backing Smith. Anthony over to help. Here's Payton for 3. And Cage able to keep it alive. Good play by Michael Cage. Payton lost it, recovered by Cage. It counts. McKee with the bucket, and he was fouled.
It's uncommon to see big people exchange the ball as well as the Sonics did on this play. Cage inside to McKee. Beautiful scoop pass caught by McKee, no problem. They made it look easy.
Seattle Supersonics have certainly enjoyed going to the free throw line. That has been the major difference here tonight. Sonics lead 88-79. Down to 2:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Anthony was fouled, saying it was in the act.
Foul on number 20,
It's on Payton.
his first.
But that puts Seattle over the limit, so Greg Anthony will get the 2 anyway.
Meanwhile, the Sonics know the Knicks' first choice is to go to Ewing, and Cage is playing him very tough. On that play, Ewing started down low, and because Cage was playing him so physically, he ended up out high, and Cage took Patrick out as a target for the Knicks.
Anthony on the line for the first time. Starks back, replacing Blackman. Anthony getting the treatment from the crowd. misses both. Knicks trying to pressure Payton. Kemp back to help. Shot clock at 5. Cage with a nice pass for Kemp.
When people are asked why they bought a Honda Accord SE, they give the following reasons: dependability, workmanship, durability, dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, the moonroof, the leather, high resale value, and Honda's great reputation. We'd like to thank these people for their honesty and for making the Accord America's best-selling car 3 years in a row. Ask about the new Accord leasing program at your Tri-Honda dealer.
People who want to write sports for us don't give up easily.
You again. Most points in the game, Knicks.
60, Bernard King.
What was the president's batting average at Yale?
251.
First home run, New York Mets.
Gil Hodges.
How many people at the first Super Bowl?
61,946.
What were their names?
Names?
To keep up with sports in New York, keep up with the times. Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the new Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically for ultimate performance. Give a Maxim. Give the best. Only from the mind of Minolta.
Again, to drive the point home, it's uncommon to see big men exchange the ball so successfully. Oh, Sean Kemp put a little extra on that slam dunk. He hasn't had enough of them tonight, so he had to make it special. That was from Michael Cage.
And the crowd loves it. The Sonics up 90-79, their biggest lead of the night. We've come up on 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hubert Davis has checked in, and Ewing is hit from behind by Cage. Cage going for the steal.
Well, with Benoit Benjamin out of the lineup, the key man in the middle for Seattle was Sean Kemp, and of course everyone knows how important Patrick Ewing is in the middle. And they have played to a standoff in the point department. Ewing, hampered by fouls early, has gotten his points and has done a good job on the boards. Kemp surprisingly 8 rebounds away from his average of this early part of the season.
Ewing is 5 of 7 from the line. Here's Oakley back.
Substitution for Seattle, number 3, David Barros, replaces Michael Cage.
24 points for Ewing. And Michael Cage hears it from the crowd as he sits down. Michael. High-point men for the Sonics. Eddie Johnson with 24. Sean Kemp with 22. Patrick Ewing leading the Knicks with 25 points. 9-point lead for Seattle.
Just trying to figure out why Cage looks so different to me tonight. It just dawned on me, Marv. A lot shorter hair first time.
I thought you were going to point out that he got shorter.
He might have.
I mean, he's been in the league 9 years. These things do happen.
Might have lost a ½ an inch, but it didn't affect his play.
Yeah. Minute 40 remaining as the Knicks are headed to a record of 4-3. And here are the early going of the season. Violation. Here are the early going, and we said it even when the Knicks were winning and they jumped it out to a record of 4-1. This is a club that really has some problems right now. A lot of things to solve for Pat Riley. They are out of sync offensively. He has not been able to settle on a set rotation. Certainly the injuries to Rolando Blackman have hurt. Oakley called for the foul. But you have to start with the lack of output on the front line from the combination of Tony Campbell and Charles Oakley. Now, you don't expect too much scoring from Charles Oakley. However, when you're getting very little from Campbell and from Charles Smith, when you see only Patrick Ewing putting up points, right there, major trouble.
Also, Blackman, in effect, has not arrived yet to the Knicks. He's not the Blackman that the Knicks went after and traded for yet.
And the foul is called on Payton.
Number 20, Gary Payton.
Minute 9 remaining in the fourth quarter. A lot of basketball people were saying right at the start of the season, hey, it's going to take time. This club has to play itself into who they are, into their identity. And, you know, Pat Riley didn't want to hear that. He said, no, we're going to do it right now. But I think he was just trying to deflect the situation. He doesn't want guys to, you know, let down and be satisfied with not doing it at the start. But this will take some time. I don't think there's any question.
That's what's unfolding. No, Pat Riley didn't want his team to have excuses.
We're under a minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Sonics lead 92-83. Here's McKee dumping off to Johnson. He tried to throw it back, and it's a 24-second violation.
Meanwhile, the passing was very impressive by the big people. You expect it with the shorter guys, but the big guys on this team have impressed me with their ability to exchange that basketball.
Timeout is called. We'll be back in a moment.
It's here. Cadillac. In White Plains. Where, you ask? Key Ford now offers the whole Cadillac line, like the Seville and Eldorado, at unbelievable prices. Now you can own a Cadillac that's backed by our reputation for reliability, a reputation that earns us the right to offer you Cadillac roadside service. Now, Key Cadillac of White Plains at 80 Westchester Avenue. Don't miss out.
This is the Temple of Flight, home of the sky and mighty. Come, witness aerialism.
I jam, therefore I am.
So ended the lesson.
Well, 45 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Seattle with a 92-83 lead on the Knicks. Pat Riley calling a clinical timeout. Well, the retired jerseys of Lenny Wilkins, Fred Downtown Brown, and this Saturday when the Supersonics go up against the Detroit Pistons, the jersey of Jack Sikma will be raised to the rafters. Had a terrific career with the Seattle Supersonics. Finished up with the Milwaukee Bucks.
There was always the feeling that Jack might come back and play, but that did not occur.
Well, Oakley will throw in. Anthony being played by Barros. And Davis. A three-pointer for Hubert Davis. And the Sonics now lead 92-86. For Davis, his first NBA three-pointer. 30 seconds remaining. And Barros able to maintain possession. Now Johnson draws the foul. John Starks.
Fouls on number 3, John Starks, his fourth.
Eddie Johnson has been living at the free throw line. He has had an outstanding game off the bench, leading the way with 24. Johnson is 9 of 9 from the foul line. This the same scenario we saw last night in Portland. Not a good one for the Knicks.
Eddie Johnson, one of those rare second-round picks that has gone on to a very fine career in the NBA. 11 years for him now.
And again, Pat Riley calls for time with 23 and 9/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter, and his club down by 8.
As a truck company for 90 years, we understand the value of a strong frame. A reassuring strength for towing, whether you're on road or off road. GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Critics call Passenger 57 spectacular, exciting. Smite is sensational.
You ever play roulette?
Hear you.
23 and 9/10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And the Sonics lead the Knicks 94-86. Pat Riley just used his final timeout.
Pat has used a couple of timeouts in what would seem to be to the fans here unusual calls and unusual times out, but he wanted to make some points to his team, some strategy points for the future.
Anthony for Starks trying to shake off Barros and able to take it to the hoop. So the Sonics now lead 94-88 with 18 seconds remaining. Barros protecting and fouled by Davis.
That was on number 44.
Down to 13 and 3/10 seconds to go. Good bounce back, though, for Seattle after the loss last night in Phoenix. And for the Sonics, it's their third game in 4 nights. Knicks playing back-to-back. Sonics will go 4-0 at home, and the Knicks will drop to 1-up and 3 down on the road.
Knicks' fourth game in 5 nights in 4 different cities.
Ana Barros in his 4th season out of Boston College.
Knicks will go to Los Angeles right after tonight's game.
Sonics lead 96-88. Here's Davis for 3. Now they say 2-pointer. 96-91 with 10 seconds, and a foul is given. So the Knicks hanging in to make it interesting, but they use their final timeouts.
Well, the Knicks and Pat Riley are competing right to the end, although the outcome seems to be written as it has for the last couple of minutes. But they are competing right to the very end.
They just corrected the score. The scoreboard had given Davis credit for at 3, so it is now with Barros hitting that free throw, 97-90, a 7-point margin. And as you see, 9 and 4/10 seconds to go. Beginning to file out. Seattle extends to an 8-point lead. Johnson able to break up the pass from Oakley. This is all clinical on the part of Pat Riley, approaching to the final seconds. 1 and 2/10 seconds remaining, and a foul is given again. That's 6 on Oakley. So Eddie Johnson back to the free throw line, and Anthony Mason will come on for Charles Oakley.
Eddie Johnson at the line shooting 1 plus the penalty shot for 2 shots.
Johnson with 26 points. He is now 12 of 12 from the line.
The Sonics will be 11 points under their season average, but the Knicks are still unable to generate much themselves.
And that'll do it. Seattle 100 and the Knicks 90. The Knicks drop to a record of 4-3, and Seattle rolls right along. They now 5 up and 1 down. In the final, the Sonics 100 and the Knicks 90. We'll be back to recap in a moment.
Hey, Wayne, New Jersey. You asked for home entertainment at incredibly low prices, and we heard you.
Don't miss the grand opening of the newest Nobody Beats the Wiz Superstore Thursday, November 19th at 73 Willowbrook Boulevard in Wayne, New Jersey. 28,000 square feet of the top name brands in home entertainment, computers, cameras, music, movies, and a whole lot more. Don't miss the grand opening of the newest Nobody Beats the Wiz in Wayne, New Jersey.
Nobody beats the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz.
Another lackluster offensive performance by the Knicks. Only 90 points. They're beaten by the Sonics 100-90. The Knicks shooting only 43% on 37 of 87 from the field. Seattle at 50% shooting, 33 for 66. A look at the leading scorers brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep that's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. That's a season high for Eddie Johnson. He did it off the bench, 28 points for Johnson to lead the way. Sean Kemp came on in the second half. He finished with 22. Solid game for Derek McKee. He had 18. Gary Payton played well. 11 points for Payton. While the Knicks were led by Patrick Ewing, 25 for Ewing, and the only other Knick in double figures, Anthony Mason, with 14. So Seattle takes this first of 2 meetings this regular season from the Knicks. They do it 100-90. We'll be back with more from Seattle in a moment. The Seattle Supersonics turning it from the loss last night in Phoenix to defeat the Knicks 100-90. Let's check out the other final scores from around the NBA. Utah over New Jersey, so the Nets are now 3-4. Golden State